Hello. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here on another stream, but here I am. We are another stream. It's trying to make me make a goal for super chats, which it's never done, but okay. I had to click off that. So I don't think, yeah, it doesn't allow us to do the goal as we usually do it, which is the 250. But I will keep track as always. I thought that YouTube had a cool new feature here, but alas, I was disappointed. So how is everyone? I'm feeling a bit shaky about being back here. So yes, hello. I'm glad that everyone is streaming in pretty quickly, getting in pretty quickly here. So for those of you that are new, this is just a live stream that I do every couple of weeks where we share our struggles, we share our wins, we share some good news, and we try to raise money either for me as the creator or the community so we can do outreach and stuff, or the last time was to save the channel, which for now, I think we're kind of stabilizing a little bit. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of in a purgatory phase. So I'm just really trying my best to work with the pledges that we got and to plan content and to plan stuff a little bit better and to have some ideas of things that we're going to do this week to try to move things more in the right direction. They are moving in the right direction. I'm just trying to move them more in the right direction. So if this is your first time, welcome. Just know that I am not a licensed professional, so any advice I give is based on my experience or the experience I have interacting with others. I do have a bachelor's in forensic psychology, but I'm not a licensed psychologist, psychiatrist, or therapist. If you are in crisis, make sure that you're reaching out and getting the help that you deserve. With that being said, this is more like community support. Hello, hello. So yeah, we use the super chat and super sticker functions first and foremost because it gets crazy in here and it helps me to see comments. So if you use that, it'll highlight the comment. If you are a member of the channel, then you'll get a free one and then I can see your comments, but that helps raise toward the 250 goal for the stream. So like I said, I will keep track of all of that. Tyler says I've just been rearranging my room this week. Oh, look at Aaron using all of our little special emojis. So if you're a channel member, you get special emojis that aren't available to the general public. I made them myself. I designed them myself, so I'm pretty proud. Resident Executioner says I miss posting my win for the week, but I have some. Feel free to share, and once we get to the wins, I will try to read them. Like I said, using the super chat or super sticker helps highlight it for me. Amanda's side channel is Mental Forensic Files. Great. Now I've got that music stuck in my head. Joke backfire. Well, that was kind of what I was doing with the Dexter video. Hopefully that takes off a little bit and I can do more of those because I really enjoyed that despite the fact that it took a really, really long time. I really had a lot of fun and hope to be able to do that. Hello, Amy. Welcome back. Glad to see you again. So I think with everything going on, I don't know about you, but I need some good news stories. So I picked two. That's how bad the world is right now. That's how crazy everything is. I picked two good news stories because I couldn't pick one. I want to start with that because I have been feeling really heavy with a lot of news and stuff going on. That's why I made the video covering the Charlie Kirk situation, is because I just felt very heady about it, even though I didn't have any vested interest in him as a creator or anything. It just really struck the wrong chord. So don't want to get into politics or anything, but it did make me feel very heavy. And it was the first time in a while that I really got slammed by the news. I very purposely avoid the news for my mental health. So we're going to start with a couple of good news stories. And then we can do our struggles, and then we can do our wins. So this, oh my God, I have to share a picture. I really wish that they let you put pictures here. Can you put pictures here now? Nope. Still doesn't allow it. I don't understand why you can't do pictures. But this news says mangy Shih Tzu wandering streets gets a new home as 75 seniors in a care home unite to adopt him. A few months ago, it seemed like he was the dog no one wanted. Now he's got a new leash on life. with lots of seniors doting over him. The black and gray Shih Tzu was found wandering the streets of Austin, Texas. His fur was overgrown and matted. He had no tags and no owner looking for him either. The 7-year-old pup had likely been homeless for months. He was found by an employee of the Philomena, an assisted living center in Kyle, Texas, run by Priscilla Doran. She's a lover of dogs, so she took him to her vet where they discovered he had a microchip, a name, and an owner. When Miss Doran contacted them about Chewy, they said they didn't want the pooch anymore, and they even quickly blocked any phone number she called from. Wow. Thwarting any more communication attempts. Well, the silver lining in that, I mean, Chewy did end up with a good home. The silver lining in that is at least the dog didn't go back to a family that didn't want him, her. I'm happy for that. So while it sounds really cold and callous, at least the dog didn't end up in a home with a family that didn't want him. It was clear Chewy needed a new home, and that's where the Filomena would come to the rescue. I said, what if he's our dog? Duran told the Hayes Free Press, because at that point, it became very clear that he's so good with people, he's good with other dogs, he's already housebroken, well-mannered, and didn't bark at anything. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's just the chillest, coolest little guy. I have to post pictures something over in the community because this is just the cutest dog. And I actually, with outreach, before I started the channel, when I was doing outreach on my own, there was a Shih Tzu. I'll actually post pictures of that over in the community too, that I had pulled from county because she was her name was Daisy. She was in the E-list, and we pulled her and got her groomed and everything, and she ended up with a really good home. So that's what this reminds me of, except this dog's black and Daisy was white. Now the dog that no one seemed to want has become a beloved member of the Filomena family. He's a regular visitor to the front office, greeting all those who enter and exit. And on some days, he's dressed up looking like he's going out to town. And there's literally this dog in a tux. I can't even, guys. I can't even. Oh my God. Chewy regularly joins the residents for Scrabble nights, lazing in their laps and getting lots of scratches behind the ears. He enjoys frequent rides on the residents' walkers and leaves a trail of happiness everywhere he goes. This is just so beautiful because the dog obviously was rescued, but I think he also rescued them because my mom was an activity director in a nursing home, and animals really lifted their spirits. When any animals would come in, it would really lift the residents' spirits. So I think this is a beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you, One Canadian, for starting us off on the right foot here. Sorry, it took me a couple of minutes to get to that as I was reading this story, but you guys have to see this. It's cuteness overload. You have to see this. I'm going to post this after the stream over on the community page so you guys can see this dog. Holy crap. And then I'll post Daisy as well. My gosh, thank you. My pen stuck to my paper. Thank you. We're going to hit our goal. We're going to hit our goal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. David, I'm happy to see you in here. I didn't know if you'd be here after you just went and reconnected with your inner child all week. I didn't see your win, but I hope that I can still share it with the community. But thank you so much again, One Canadian. Okay. Let's do it this way. We read the good news story. Let's share some struggles. Then we'll read another good news story. Then we'll just chat for a bit, and then we'll do our wins. How's that sound? Does that sound good to everybody? I'm exhausted and drained too, David. Today, I'll save the other part for my win, but today I'm feeling extremely exhausted from my yesterday, and it was good, and I'll get to that. But I'm just feeling super drained and exhausted, and I'm just feeling like usually I'm the type of person that I'm very big on organizing things, having goals and lists and everything, and I'm just feeling a little spread thin. I'm just feeling scattered, not even spread thin necessarily, just very scattered. Like I know what my goals are, but I'm struggling to figure out the steps I need to take to get to them. So that is kind of my struggle right now. And as you guys know, that can really start messing with your mental health when you just feel like you don't have any direction and you don't know what your next step is. So today I'm kind of trying to rest. Tomorrow I'm going to reevaluate and look at things and see, okay, I really need to break things down and figure out what the next moves are. So that's my tomorrow. That's my plan for tomorrow. Scott Clark says, struggle, broke out of unemployment, might have to cash in 401k that I don't want to, and finding a job is just very hard right now. we know it is. Yes, it's a real big struggle. The market's just not doing well at the moment. We've struggled as well since both my partner and I got laid off right before having Aurora. And we know how bad the market is right now, and we're having to be creative and doing other things. Not blue sky, guys. Not selling blue sky, but yeah, it's been really crazy trying to navigate that system. Neither of us qualified for unemployment, so it is a very big struggle. Randy O'Donnell says to everybody in this chat, you've got this. We all struggle. We're in this together. Everybody needs a shoulder to cry on, and that's okay. And that's what this chat's for. If you guys need to cry, if you need to type some crying emojis, if you need to sit at your computer screen and freak out and bawl your eyes out, let's get it out. Let's just detox some of that, all right? No shame in that. No shame at all. Scott says, I really appreciate you guys saying all that. I feel like I don't have anyone to talk to sometimes. That's why I do this, is because I know what it's like to feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. And I know what it's like to just feel very isolated and very overwhelmed. And I really think it's important to have community support. I think that there is a lot of value to be said for therapy, like official therapy. And that's why I make sure to say in the beginning, I'm not a therapist. I do think that can be valuable, but I think just having the community support and sharing with people who have been there or are there makes all the difference. You are so amazing, One Canadian. I adore you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I'm going to have to remember that this is in Canadian dollars so I can do the mom brain so I can figure out the, oh my God. I feel so embarrassed when I forget really simple words. Conversion rate. The conversion rate. Took me a second there. I'm really glad, One Canadian, that I've helped and that this has been beneficial to you and your mental health. David's right. People just want to be acknowledged, and seem to be invisible is the worst. I feel like I should change. Let me know what you guys think about this. I was thinking of changing the banner, the channel banner, because the mission of the channel is to shatter the mental health stigma and to go a little bit deeper. I just want every person that comes onto the channel to feel seen and heard and appreciated. And one of the things I've really been struggling with recently is that I just haven't been able to keep up with comments, because I get comments and I get emails and I get so much feedback and interaction and communication that I'm just not able to keep up with it. And I'm sitting there, I've been reading and I've been scrolling, but I'm just falling really behind. So I do want everybody to know that they are seen and that they are heard and they are valued. And that's the whole mission of the channel, even if it takes me some time or I might not get to every single comment. I do really love you guys and I'm trying my best. David says, I remember pulling several nighters in college and stared at the computer trying to figure out how to spell your. Well, I feel like nowadays that's a very common thing, is kids staring at the computer screen trying to figure out which your to use. I love that you brought that up, Randy. Randy O'Donnell says, it took me 9 therapists before I found one who understood me. Date your therapist, and not in the romantic sense, but I am a really big proponent of don't just accept whatever therapist you get thrown with. Find a therapist that you match with. And I'm lucky that I found one that she's not doing everything I want her to do, but I think that we can move in the right direction. And yeah, it took me a lot of therapists to get to that point. And I really wish that more people would talk about that and more people would understand that not every therapist fits our specific needs, right? They might not fit our lifestyle. They might not fit our beliefs. They might not practice the sort of therapies, the sort of specific things that we need them to. I'm sorry, guys, if I sound like I'm just not there. I'm really not. I'm just really tired today, so my brain's a little bit foggy, and I probably have the verbal gamut of a 3rd grader right now, so I apologize for that. All Our sister says, I'm one person to talk to, and I'm far too much for her to take by herself. I struggle with oversharing. It really stresses her out and causes her pain. I hate giving her my pain. And then Scott Clark says, I get you, man. I cannot cry when the shoulder cries more. It is very important to find people that can help you and that can, take that on, because it doesn't mean that that person doesn't care. I really want to reiterate that. If somebody isn't able to be there for you in the way that you need, or they just feel like you're too much, that doesn't mean that you are too much. That just means that that person doesn't have the skills to give you the support that you need. And I think that a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, I'm too much. It means that I'm not worthy of getting help, or this person just thinks I'm crazy, or whatever the case is. I think that it's really important to remember that there are plenty of people that can listen and that can hold space for that. That person might just be dealing with their own struggles. They might be feeling overwhelmed themselves. They might not know how to manage mental health themselves. That doesn't mean that they don't care. But yeah, I can completely understand the whole idea of the shoulder cries more. I had a friend like that just, her problems were always more important. And I always felt like we were trying to work through her struggles, and then she wasn't listening to mine. She wouldn't even respond to my texts. So I very much empathize with that, but do understand that it isn't always a matter of you actually being too much. Let them feel that way, Thank you, Ash. Thank you so much. Thank you again, One Canadian. I'm going to put those separate. It would really be awesome if we hit our goal today. That would make me feel really great. A really great start to this whole planning process session. Oh, I think Morgan is pacing outside the door. Let's see. Do we have any more struggles anybody wants to share? Just kind of trying to skim here. You guys are so amazing. It says, let's celebrate the 5th super on a live stream. Amanda dance. I'm the most white girl dance you could possibly imagine. Okay. Scott says, also, it's a thing with being a guy, not working, not bringing in money. I feel useless sometimes. I can completely understand that that's a very common thing for men to experience, because they're very much conditioned to be the provider. But I just want to remind that the provider doesn't just mean money. You can provide other values to the family, or provide, even if you are looking to bring in money, provide that in different ways. I think that there's so much more value. If I had to choose, and this is me as a woman, so you can see my face here, this is not just a comment on a screen, me as a woman, I would rather have a man who's emotionally supportive and I have to bring in more money because they make less, than a man who makes all this money but never holds space for my emotions, never opens up emotionally, things like that. I would much rather have the guy who has a high EQ and a smaller wallet than vice versa. I know that I can't speak for all women, but I'm just saying, as a woman myself, that's how I feel. So there are other me's out there, I promise. Not everyone just sees you as a wallet and a paycheck. Okay, so let's do the other good news story. Feel free to keep sharing struggles here if you want. Like I said, super chat or super sticker function makes it easier for me to see them, but feel free to keep sharing your struggles. I'm going to read this other good news story. I'll read those when I come back, and then we'll move on to wins. Actually, we'll just chat. I said that, right? That we would just chat for a bit. So we're going to read this, get to the other struggles, and then just chat for a bit. So I think this one is going to make you guys smile as well. We're supposed to be good men. Officer buys stranded deaf man train ticket to get home. We're supposed to be good men, said Officer Stephen Harris. Harris was responding to a question from local news in Pittsburgh about why he would spend $113 of his own money to solve a stranger's problem. It's a suggestion that all of us, from cops to kids, should hear every now and then. And this is why I like to raise money to help the community, because I agree with that we are supposed to be good people. And we can do that by solving other people's problems sometimes, helping lift their spirits, which is good for their mental health. So the story of how Harris got into position to solve the problem comes from the Greyhound bus depot in Pittsburgh, where the police department received a call about a man behaving unruly. Harris and Officer Queso responded to the call on their bicycles and arrived to find a much different picture. He was just a male who was deaf and didn't speak English or read English, so it just turned out he needed help to get back on a bus to New York and eventually Montreal. Officer Harris told reporters. Queso called a translator line police use in such situations and was able to get a French speaker to help, though didn't explain whether sign language was needed or not. It turned out the man had stepped off the bus to stretch his legs, but obviously didn't hear the call from the driver that it was time to go, and watched helplessly as the bus took off for New York, his luggage and cash still on board. Oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so much anxiety for this guy. Am I alone? I'm feeling anxiety just reading the paragraph. With no options for a bus, Harry simply used his bank card to buy an Amtrak ticket to New York. We're supposed to be good men helping other good men. That's it, he said. Police Commander Tim Navassil said in response to the story that Harris loves to work downtown because he just thinks differently than most people. I think we need more Harrises. Am I right? We need all the police officers to be like this. When asked why he thinks differently, Harris responded that he was raised by his great-grandmother, a different kind of woman from a different sort of era. When he reached for his own wallet, she must have been smiling, watching her great-grandson, the cop, helping someone in need, trying, as she urged, to be a good man. I'm going to cry. His great-grandmother sounds like a wonderful woman. We can all learn from her. We can all live to that goal, to be a better person than other people that we see. When we see all this hate, when we see this violence, when we see this fear, when we see all of these things that have been very prevalent this week, even for people like me that avoid media and social media as much as possible, we see these things and it can be very hard to remember that we have a voice, we have a choice, we can do things that counter that balance that a little bit, so we can be the good we want to see in the world. So when we're faced with all this violence and all this fear and all this fear mongering and all this hatred and all these other things, we have to be like this. We have to listen to Harris's great grandmother, and we have to be the good people. Thank you, One Canadian. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Steve is right. Steve says, I'm what people call a hardcore liberal, but I don't condone the shooting of Charlie Kirk. You run the debate of ideas when you resort to violence. I appreciate that you say that you are reminding us, like I was saying in the video, that it doesn't matter if you agree or not. You just lost your argument. Like you didn't do anything positive. You didn't bring anything positive to the table. You just spread more fear and hatred. Welcome, the Talenton X. Welcome to the pack. Welcome to the channel. David says, do I do good to feel good or avoid the guilt I'd feel by not trying my best? There was a message deleted, and I can't see what that said. So we had a member that joined and then it disappeared. I don't know what happened. That's weird. But welcome nonetheless. But I think what you're asking, David, and I think this has come up before, if are we doing good to feel good ourselves, or are we just doing good to be truly altruistic? And I have to be honest, I don't think anybody is altruistic to the point of where they don't like the way they feel when they help someone else. And I think that's totally okay. It really doesn't matter if you're doing it because you feel good to help other people, or you're doing it because you just like seeing that other person feel good. The point is you're doing good, and it shouldn't really matter what the driving factor is. At least that's my opinion. I mean, I will fully admit I like how I feel when I help someone else, and that makes me feel useful. It makes me feel happy that I could have this positive impact on someone else. And then, of course, it helps them. So does it really matter what the driving force is at the end of the day? Oh, I think I hit it on accident. It's okay. It's okay, babe. I blame Aurora. She bonked my screen. I had to take her outside because she's crying. She loves to go outside. She's definitely mine. Although I don't like this heat. We will go outside more in once it becomes fall and winter, and we can bundle up and coat and go outside. But I really like that story because it just reminds us, that just solving someone else's problem, just making their day can make all the difference. So all the things that we've done here in the community, think of all of the people's lives who've been changed, and a lot of them I never talked to again. I do have to share this with the community because the comment got deleted and I can't read it exactly. But I posted a 9/11 short on September 11th a few days ago. I posted a short. I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but I posted a short. And it was talking about a lesson that my son taught me. And there was this woman who came on there, and she's clearly feeling very fired up after all the things that have happened in the news and stuff. And she started saying, well, you never covered this tragedy or that tragedy or Pulse or Sandy Hook or any of those things. And I'm going, you mean these events that happened before I even had a YouTube channel? Kind of weird that you would go with those when there were other relevant ones. But I had said that I said those events weren't recent, right? And I don't really talk much about politics, but I was just talking about something that affected people in the community that they were reaching out to me about, And she was saying, you don't care about all these different groups. And one of those groups was, I don't care about the LGBTQ plus community. Specifically, I think she said transgender individuals. And I had said that, these other events didn't take place when I had a YouTube channel, and I'm not sure why you believe that, because I have spoken my support for that community and part of that community. I've always been part of that community, and I've paid for therapy for individuals from that community, and apparently one of those people replied to the comment. I did get to read the reply that one of those individuals that I paid for therapy for was saying, actually, I'm one of the people that she paid for therapy for, and I met her at an LGBT rally, and she was very much standing up for the community. I've never got the vibe that she doesn't stand up for the community, and the original poster deleted the message, and that made me feel really good that someone had come in I feel like people say these things out of fear. They make comments out of fear, out of just a place of hurt themselves. Like, clearly she was feeling unseen, and instead of biting back like a lot of people would do and be like, what the hell do you mean? Of course I care about these communities, or screw these communities, or whatever, a lot of people would say in the comment section of a video. I recognized, okay, this person's hurting and feeling unseen, so let's see what we can do just to kind of show her the other side, to show her my real intentions. And then somebody came in and obviously did that for me. And that just felt really good to have somebody have my back, but also hopefully to help her see, hey, I judged this person based on one video that I saw, not seeing all the other things that she did. So I was just really happy that my real intentions were being seen by other people. Yeah, Randy's saying the power of a hug. It pretty much was. It is rare for me to get combative or abrasive at people. They have to really be nasty. And even if they are nasty, I try really hard to see that this person, like I said, is hurting. This person is upset, and help them see a different way. That is how we use our voice. Thank you, Ashkar. Ashkar says, I'm gay and I feel safer here than in my real world. That means the world to me. I do want people to feel safe and loved here. I myself am bisexual. And so, like I said, I'm part of that community, and I always supported that community. And I hope anyone here on the channel, in the community that might not align with those beliefs still hold space for us and the fact that we are doing the best we can. I know that there are people in here that are very conservative and may not support may not support, gay marriage or things like that. And I still hold space for those people. I respectfully disagree. And I would hope that, that we could have mature conversation about those things. But thank you so much. I'm glad that you feel safe here, Ash. You are very much welcome here. David says, I think a lot of people lash out in a fear or lack of understanding and a lot of defending their point to the end because they can't admit being wrong. I've been wrong a lot and I learn and grow. I've been wrong and I will admit when I'm wrong. It's belief perseverance. That's the psychological term for it, is people don't want to change their mind. They don't want to be proved wrong. So they have this belief perseverance that even when presented with evidence or even when presented with things that should override that, it doesn't because of the belief perseverance. Thank you so much, One Canadian. I just realized that I forgot to open my email over here. So if you do make bigger pledges, please make sure to use PayPal or Venmo so that it doesn't take as big of a fee. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So what's the conversion? I forgot the conversion for, I'm going to pull that up. Cool. Oops. Okay. So we're about 80 and I would say halfway through the stream. Like I said, a lot of times I'll hang out a little bit longer if we're doing good and we're very active in here and stuff. Thank you, Talented X. An honest man who finds out he's been mistaken either stops being mistaken or stops being honest. Whoa. That is a powerful quote. I love that. I love that. Sam Friends to Wolf says, I did not write those down. Sam Friends to Wolf says, went on a 5-day vacation to visit family, felt I needed it to reset. There were a couple of times I had some anxiety and stress issues, but all in all, I had a great time. I'm going to give preliminary snaps. We haven't done our wins yet. I'm going to give preliminary snaps for that because sometimes, it just feels amazing to get away and reset. And that's what I've been kind of doing. I did make a few videos. I'm probably not going, I do have a couple shorts that are going to come out this week. So I guess we will transition into wins. So we'll do the Snap Cup song and transition into wins. But yeah, I've been feeling like I need to reset. So I think I'm going to do that a little bit more this week. I've been trying to balance what I take on at this time just to make sure, obviously, I'm still making enough to put food on the table to survive, but not overdoing myself with things that aren't benefiting myself or the community in some way. So we are going to start with the Snap Cup, and that comes with a song. So sing with me, guys. Snap Cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up. Oh my gosh. And you'll find harmony and love in a Snap Cup. You know that I'm getting brain fog when I forget the Snap Cup song, guys. Holy cow. I brain farted there for a second. So I'm going to share mine, and it's going to be a little sneak peek. Before I go into these, a little sneak peek for what's coming up on the channel as a short this week is I ended up getting to do a mini interview with Sean Astin last night. So that was unexpected and crazy. Did not see that coming, and sat and hung out with him and chatted. Aaron and I sat and hung out with him and chatted for a bit. But yeah, he let me do a couple of mental health questions. He is super amazing. I really had no emotional investment in him because I'd never watched the Goonies. I never got into Lord of the Rings. I've been forced against my will to watch the first one, but I fell asleep to try and watch Lord of the Rings. So it was really cool though, because I did get to talk about the fact that Aaron and I are watching The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. and Sean Astin's adopted father is one of the recurring characters on there. He's Professor. And I had said, I know a lot of people know your dad as Gomez, but tell your dad that I still really enjoy him. I really enjoy rewatching The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. and seeing him as Professor. So he said, I'll make sure to tell him that. But watch out for that this week, because that will be coming up as a short. That was my very excited win for the week. I also got a lot of things, so I will be adding a lot to my posh closet this week. That's something I really enjoy, a little side project, just way to try and make some money during this time, and I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it, and I got a huge haul yesterday, so I was very happy for that, and that will be going up this week. So snaps for me. David, ew, yeah. David says my clone is glitching. Yeah, my clone is definitely glitching right now. Oh, cool. I was giving some things away and I got a message about it. I thought it might have been an email. But yes, those are the snaps. It was really fun. It was exciting. I hope Aaron had fun. It was a little early anniversary present for my Lord of the Rings Goonies loving boyfriend. So let's start in on these snaps, on these wins. Marta Marine says, start going to the gym to feel better about myself and spend some time actually doing something. Love it, love it, love it. You do feel better. We've been trying to be more active together as well, to just, it really helps to get, the endorphins going and stuff. Can't see my sign, can you? It's not the full quote, but it's the Legally Blonde sign that says happy people just don't shoot their husbands. Oh man, I don't think I can get the camera that high. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands. Exercise releases endorphins. Endorphins make you happy, and happy people just don't shoot their husbands. So yeah, that's one of the quotes on my wall. David says, okay, just had to test to see if it was the real you. Could have just asked me Joey Fatone's middle name. Fritz Schnitzler says, good news from my cardiologist, but also a good friend of 40 years passed away Sunday, but hanging in there. Hope you and everyone here are doing good. I'm so sorry about your friend. I hope that you're able to, hold space, grieve as you need to, try to remember the good times, but also allow yourself to be sad. But I'm really happy for that good news from your cardiologist. Bye, Scott. Oh, bye for now, Scott. We'll see you in a few minutes. Go get your pizzas going. Ash says, I'm still breathing even when every breath hurts more and more. I'm happy you're still breathing. I would freak out if anything happened to you, just to let you know. So I'm really happy that you're still here, and I'm sorry that it's hurting right now. I hope that we are able to help you breathe a little easier today, and that we're able to maybe even give you some breath. And I hope that things start going in a direction that helps you breathe a little bit easier, whether that's something that we come up with or just working out some of the situations you've talked about here in the community so that you can breathe easier. You deserve that. But snaps to you for staying here and still breathing. Thank you so much, One Canadian. Thank you. Talented X says, how do these snaps work my first full stream? I guess I should have explained for anyone that's new. I post over on the community tab, usually a couple days. I think I actually posted yesterday, maybe Friday, but I'll usually post in the middle of the week before the stream, just to let everybody know when the stream is, and you can post wins for the community. Or now that you're a channel member, you can actually use your super sticker function so that I see that here. If you're not a member, you can still use that, obviously, so that I can see your wins. And then we just celebrate it here as a community. So we talk about our struggles and then we talk about our wins, because it's important to keep a balance. So if you shared a struggle, I really implore you to share a win as well, so that we keep that balance. Big snap stash. One Canadian is on a roll, and I appreciate it so much. Whoa, we have a big one. Look at this. Anonymous. Is this the same Anonymous that's in here right now? I had a great time at the Falling in Reverse concert I went to. Okay, I'm jealous already. My dad was actually coming back from the washroom as Ronnie was making his way through the audience, and he showed me a video of Ronnie walking right past him. I'm honestly so jealous, but not in a resentful way. I would be jealous too. I'm currently trying to figure out whether to drop a course that's already causing me a large amount of stress, and I'm going to discuss my options with someone tomorrow. Okay, do it. There's something to be said about pushing yourself. So my first semester back in college, I ended up in a stats class I had no right to be in, really. I was so far behind. I hadn't taken a math class since high school. So I had no right to be there. And I pushed myself through that one. It was like 15-hour-a-week commitment to be at the classes, do the tutoring, do the homework, study. But then I wound up in a biology class in was it my last semester? It was either my last semester, no, it was my second to last semester. Either way, whatever. Toward the end of my degree, I ended up in a biology class that was an absolute effing nightmare. Like, there's no way I was going to pass that class. It would have tanked my 4.0. People were saying, I went to read reviews of that teacher, and people were saying, this is a full-time job. I had to put 30 to 40 hours a week into this class. And I'm just, no. I have full-time school. I was going through IVF. I had my son. I had work. I had so many things. So listen to yourself. If you feel like that class is just more stress than it's worth, and you can take another class to count toward the credit you need, in my case, I could, drop it. It's not worth it. Next, you may be interested in this, but in my world issues class, the teacher asked if anyone would like to submit a song that tackles an issue. I was the only one who did. I submitted several, including Wrong Side of Heaven by Five Finger Death Punch. Oh, man. And Make It Stop, September's Children by Rise Against. Have I done that one? I don't think I've done that one. We decided to go with Make It Stop, but I felt uncomfortable mentioning the unaliving in class during my disclaimer, and we only watched the first minute or so of the video, so I sent a class-wide email explaining that and sharing the video and lyrics. Finally, a friend I feel really emotionally close to, but who I haven't seen in person for a while, end up in my class again. Not only that, it's the same room and teacher as the first class we met in. What are the odds? Those are crazy odds. That's really awesome. I'm glad you reconnected with that friend, that you got to have this mental health conversation, that you got to go to this concert. So many snaps, so many wins. I'm also jealous of your dad getting to walk by Ronnie. That would be pretty darn cool. What was the other thing I'd wanted to say? Oh, so the video. I actually think that that's pretty awesome that you shared a bit of it and then sent the email sharing the video and lyrics, because it kind of gave them the choice to engage in it, because I know that that can be very triggering and upsetting for a lot of people. So it gave them the choice to engage in the rest of the video. I think there's there is definitely still a lot of value in you guys sharing that minute, talking about it in class, and approaching this as an email instead of a mandatory thing in class. So I think that was a really awesome decision. So yeah, lots of snaps. I did react to that song. I thought so. I thought I did. I've done hundreds now, guys. I'm starting to get lost. Ryan Barrett. Is Ryan in here? I haven't seen Ryan this stream, so I don't know if he's in here. Ryan says, did you know that a special needs child never feels sorry for itself? They only celebrate the small wins. Some of us need to remember this, Ryan says. I will say, I love the reminder to celebrate the small wins, Ryan. We all need to remember that. I think it's something that a lot of people forget when they're posting their wins and stuff. But I also think every child, special needs or not, has tough days. And from the special needs children that I've been around, I think that most of them can feel a full range of feelings, and that's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal to feel a full range of feelings, and it's still possible to celebrate the wins, even if you are feeling things that might be uncomfortable or feeling down in the dumps, feeling sorry for yourself, as you put it. Sometimes that's okay, and I do think that even special needs kids, from my experience, still do have those feelings. But man, yeah, we definitely need the reminder to celebrate the small wins. So snaps for that reminder. I love how we're just growing. More and more people are showing up to the streams, and that makes me happy. Okay, let's see. Sean M375 says, define when. I don't think waking up counts. Oh, my love, it very much counts. That's the biggest count, really. Waking up is no small thing, okay? I say this all the time. Your heartbeat all night without you telling it to, okay? And your lungs kept going and your blood kept circulating, and now you get a fresh start. So when you wake up, that's a fresh start, and it's just really an amazing thing that we don't give enough credit to. So give yourself credit for that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Apparently my door had not been closed all the way. And my heart just stopped. Did you guys hear that? The door closed behind me. Apparently I didn't close all the way when I came in here, and it just closed behind me, and I nearly just had a heart attack. Randy O'Donnell says, my softball family is 90% parents with special needs children, autism mostly, cerebral palsy. It's awesome how we all just look after each other's kids. Don't need to ask small town love. Man, I miss the small town love. Love, love, love that. Hello, Emo. Gabriel says, I'm still actively applying for a part-time job after 2 years of looking and going through 5 interviews and receiving 30 plus rejection emails. Good for you for keeping going. I like to remember often, I mean, I know a lot of people who have had a lot of rejections before they get to the acceptance, and you have to kind of look at it like a numbers game. Like every no you get is closer to the yes. That's how I have to look at it. I know people who have went on dozens and dozens and dozens of dates before landing their person, their forever person. I mean, J.K. Rowling was rejected, 12 or 13 times before she managed to get a deal for Harry Potter. She was rejected by 12 or 13 different agencies before she was able to get a deal. I'm really happy that you're not letting this define you, that you're not letting all of these rejections drag you down or make you feel like less of a person, because there is something out there for you. You just have to find it. So every no you get is closer to that yes. Remember that. Big snaps to you for continuing. FYI, Falling in Reverse is coming to Phoenix September 24th. Oh, I'm going to have to reach out. I actually am in contact with their agent, so maybe we can get Ronnie here on the channel for an interview. That'd be pretty awesome. Rejections are tough. I'm not going to pretend they're not tough. They suck. I'm actually querying agents right now for a book, and yeah, rejections do not feel good. I'm not going to lie. Not even going to pretend that we don't like them.